PM, thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Statement of adequate notice. In accordance with requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice has been given at tonight's meeting to the Star Ledger and Express Times, has been posted to the bulletin board by the main office of Franklin Township School, sent to the county clerk and to all Board of Education members, and posted to the school website and socials on January 19th. That was misstated. January 19th, 2026. It had an 8th. We put it on the 8th? No way.
Yeah.
This agenda?
It's not the meeting date.
Oh, understood. All right.
So it's the
Thank you.
county clerk, it's the township.
Township clerk and January 8th. Thank you. Roll call, Mr. Kramer.
Mrs. Baker. Here. Mr. Sessler.
Here.
Mrs. Cummins.
Here.
Mr. Giordano.
Here.
Mr. Metz.
Here.
Mrs. Norton.
Here.
Mr. Norton.
Here.
We have a quorum.
I read the motion to approve.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion to approve action item 5 for board entering into an executive session? Can I get a second?
Second.
Motion to approve the above executive session resolution for the Franklin Township Board of Education adjourning to closed session to discuss personnel and legal matters, wherein the length of time of the executive session is expected to be approximately 30 minutes, after which the meeting shall reconvene and proceed with business wherein action may be taken. Can I get a voice vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Copy. So
I will present twice a year. This is our student safety data systems and our HIB report. And this is for the time frame of September, which started our school year, until the end of December. That's what this report is for. And then just gives you the purpose. This is for the state. This is mandated by the state, which we have to submit twice a year. Our SSDS, our student safety data system. It means through which our New Jersey Department of Ed requires all the districts to report violence, vandalism, weapons, substance abuse, bullying, and that's what falls under each category. So our first report, this is a quick report. Our first report is our total incidences are 4, and if you look across, you'll see that there are 4 restraints that we've had. We had to have 4 therapeutic holds during those few months, and that's it. We have no violence, vandalism, or substances or weapons that have been reported, and no other incidences leading to removal. It's just the 4 therapeutic holds that we have to report. As far as investigations, we did have 1 HIB that we investigated, and it was unfounded, which the board voted on. The last board did. And then some of the trainings and the preventions that we try to cover in school at all times throughout the year, not just during the reporting. We do a week of respect. I certainly won't read all of this to you. Unlocking and maximizing a student's full potential assembly we've had. Red Ribbon Week, transforming youth, schools, and communities through holistic practices assembly. We have a lot to do with social and emotional lessons from our guidance counselor who visits our classrooms. The Nurtured Heart program, which we've been doing for a few years. Handle with Care training, de-escalation, and we have our therapeutic hold techniques. We do Gold Pause, which recognize exemplary behavior in students. Our zones of regulation, which is where students can go to regulate their emotions or take a time out. And our Dreams team, which supports educators in creating positive school environments that enhance job satisfaction and student learning. So these are the things that we have ongoing throughout the school year, all of the time, to support our students' needs in moving forward. And that's all I have. It's that quick. Any questions?
Are we able to get that in a PDF?
You certainly,
Communications?
sure.
Moving right along. Item 7, board actions. Can I get a motion to approve action item 7, A through A? Approval of minutes. Can I get a second? Great. This
Wait, I'm sorry, who did the motion?
Colleen motion, Sylvia seconded.
Thank you.
This is a good spot for us to try this, right?
Mhm.
This is a good spot to try unanimous consent. But we have to say it a specific way.
Were you on the phone call with the attorney or was it?
No, it was a good report back.
You have to say. all in
The
favor,
specific.
All in favor, any opposed, and you have to say any abstentions.
Oh, I'm gonna follow up on that because I don't concur. Can you do, sorry, guys, this is the parliament. We're just learning how to, me and him are learning how to jam together. We can't do, are there any corrections, objections, or abstentions? Hearing none, that's unanimous consent. Yeah, forgive me. We're just
Because you're basically saying the same thing.
saying the same thing in a different way.
Although he was very clear.
He was, but
Very clear that you have to say all in favor, any opposed,
I would
but say what you said again.
say this. Are there any corrections, objections, or abstentions? Hearing none, minutes are approved by unanimous consent.
He does not agree with that.
Fair enough. Tell him to run for school board and he'll run it. Are there any objections, corrections, or abstentions to the minutes?
No, that's what he's saying you can't say.
What's that?
That's what he's saying you can't. say.
I'm respecting it. I know I'm respecting what he's saying,
But you're okay.
but I'm not doing it.
Okay, so-
Are there any corrections, objections, or abstentions to the minutes? Hearing none, it's approved by unanimous consent. That gets written down as all of us voting yes. Once we start getting it, it'll pump a little quicker. It puts The design is to put emphasis on the important votes, not the procedural crap stuff. Item 8, school, you know what? Let me switch something up. School board, let's switch to 9, school board administration report, Chief Aquino. Let's start off with our best foot forward and some good news. No offense. Yeah, let's make that permanent. I want you to be the first people here. No one's here to hear us talk.
Wonderful. Thank
No
you.
offense, Mark. Fair enough.
Is it me? Can you hear me? Okay. So we just had our annual spelling bee last Friday, January 9th, and congratulations to our winner, 6th grader John Hunt, and runner-up 5th grader Brian Fennel. Several student field trips have taken place recently, including our 8th grade class trip to North Hunterdon High School. Our mid-year benchmark assessments are currently underway, almost finished. Our Honor Society and Student Council raised and donated $550, you may have seen that in the paw print, to the CDH Coalition in honor of Gunnar Bickert. This was the money that the students raised from Candygrams. The preschool, I don't think I got a Candygram. I did? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, thank you. The preschool lottery is now open and will close on February 20th. All information can be found in our paw print or by reaching out to one of our secretaries in the child study team, Crystal Gonzalez. I believe it's on the website as well. Thank you. Kindergarten registration is now open. Please reference our website or reach out to Mrs. Thompson for more information. And our PTA Snowflake Ball will be held on January 30th. Fun for the entire family, and we hope everyone comes out. And from the sounds of it, sounds like it will be a snowflake ball. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Kramer. School business administrator report.
There are 5 resolutions on the agenda.
Hold on, I'm sorry, hold on.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Come on.
Look, strip it on. Oh, now you got me. This is our first time doing this. There's gonna be.
all good.
There's gonna be some cords off. We'll work on it. Yeah,
okay, are we good?
sir.
There are 5 resolutions on tonight's agenda under finance and facilities. The first 4 are the financial reports, the transfer report, the bill list, and the use of facilities. The 5th one is getting approval to apply for a local recreational grant. We did that 2 years ago. That put in our track and a multifunctional fitness station. Our current projections for revenue and expenditures through June 30th are looking good. I think we're in a good spot at this time. One of our architect of records, they came and visited the school regarding the repointing and the foundation of the older portion of our building that was built in 1937, I believe it was. They are expecting to get a report to us in about 2 weeks from that visit. They're going to be here tomorrow to look at the condition of the elevator, and that will then allow them to provide us with a report as to what we need to do with that elevator. Just want to let you know, the fire inspector came in during Christmas break. It was really nice to see him. And he made a comment. He thought this was one of the best observations he ever did looking at a school. I was very happy with that. He did note one violation. Can I say this? I think I can. So we had a teacher of the year. Was it?
No names.
There was a door that was celebrating the award, and it was all decorated, and that was a violation.
So in celebration of the teacher of the year, we got hit with a violation for the fire code.
But
Some things are worth it.
We're fine.
Some things are worth
We
it.
took
Fair
the,
enough.
we took the decorations down, so
The decorations are still on, but the.
but the window covering is over, yes.
Sorry.
Thank you for doing that.
I did inform the finance committee that the food service is projecting a loss. The prior year's Policy and Curriculum Committee, worked with the then administration. I don't think Ms. Quino was involved with that. The reason for the loss is because we eliminated packaged lunches, reduced the a la carte options, eliminated ice cream, removed chips with dye, reduced the free commodity orders to provide fresh food versus canned food and other things alike. So I'm working with them to see what we can do, but if we're keeping what we wanted to change, I believe we're going to end up with a loss. I believe there is enough money in surplus in the food service program, totally different than our operating fund, to accommodate that loss, but that's not going to sustain for another year or two. So we're projecting right now 8,600 Mashio loss. And then that does not include direct costs that the district pays, such as if equipment goes down and we need to get repairs, that's added to the program. A lot of the equipment, if you remember, because of all the extra money that we got from the federal government due to the COVID, we ended up purchasing a lot of new ones. And I will say, I do see repairs, not as much as my first 2 years.
Just to add some color to that, the overall decision to offer healthier foods created an expenditure where there used to be surplus. We decided to kick it out of finance and facility, to education and curriculum, to get feedback on the report as to what decisions we should make when applying to next year's budget. That whatever they decide will be sent back to finance and facility, and based off of that and the administration's recommendations, will move in one way or the other. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mark.
No trouble.
Another question on that, and this doesn't have to be available right now, but if we can make it available to the committee. Oh, sorry, I pulled a Mark while talking to Mark. Okay, I'm not asking for the numbers breakdown here, but maybe when it gets pushed over to committee, looking at that 8,600, I know we brought in an additional staff member to, I think it was part-time, to do food prep and kind of keep that fresh food rolling as opposed to cooking and kind of sitting under the metaphorical hot lamps. If we can understand like the breakdown of where this 8,600 is coming from, how much of it is in decreased revenue from food purchase, how much of it is coming from increased cost from salary or hourly wages that were increased.
I think I understand what you're asking. I'll put
Yeah.
it to the finance committee and
Yes,
that'll be in
please.
their, in their minutes.
Thank you.
To answer your question, to give context to your question, the 8,600 is the direct result of lost revenue of products sold.
So that's
That-
just.
that's
product sold,
just-
so that doesn't
That's just the loss
consider
of what we were selling. There are
increased
additional
salary
costs that get
costs.
applied to it,
Okay.
plus the addition of the staff member, that it will be part of a bigger collection of
Right.
the cost. But just for the conversation today, we're
Okay.
discussing the 86 lost in revenue
lot.
in order to bring the subject forward. I'm sorry, Mark, go ahead, my friend.
All right, this
Thank
one
you.
I might go a little slow with. Are we all aware that the governor passed a law June 30th, 25 regarding public notices that we are required to do? All right,
Yes, we are.
okay, so we no longer need, we sooner or later will no longer need to publish notices in the newspaper. For 1 year, we have to provide a notice to the newspapers, two newspapers, that we're no longer going to use newspapers. Twice a month for a year. Starting March 1st, any public notice will be on our website and will be sent to a central website at the state. Our website will indicate what the link is to get to the state website. The notice that has to go out twice a month for a year will also include the link to our website as well as the link to the state website. So no more newspapers. It will save money eventually, but for 1 year, it will cost us money. I think I explained it right. Any questions regarding that?
Mark, if I understand it, the notice has to be published. Do we just publish the link or do we publish the notice and the link?
The notice for twice a month for a year,
On the website, in the future, when we're publishing a public notice, do we actually have the document on our website and a link to the state? Or do we just publish the link that goes to the state and that is where the document is?
our website will have a link to the state.
And the state is the only place where the document will exist.
The state,
Can we put that document on the website as well as the link?
what document?
The
public
actual
that we-
PDF of the agendas themselves.
The agendas for the meetings?
Yes.
That's on the website anyway. That has nothing to do with this. So you want to call a special meeting in April? There's going to be, our notice will be on our website where you would go and look to see that there is a special meeting.
Got that.
And at the same time, it will be on the state's website
Okay.
saying that we have that meeting.
Okay.
Gotcha.
so
The
it's in both
agenda
places.
itself will be the same as always.
The
Thank you.
litigation, the ruling is the realization that only people who own parakeets read newspapers anymore. But I think it's fair for us to say the fact that we will put it on our socials as well, and
Yes.
we'll send it to the township clerk in order to best advertise.
We're required to continue.
But you're talking
notifying
about specifically what we're required to do.
Yeah.
For changing our
Understood.
notices.
Thank you.
Okay. And that ends my report. I don't know if the committee has anything they want to add. I will say there's going to be further discussion on a couple of matters
Yeah,
that
we'll
were
pick that up.
discussed in finance, but that will be done at a later point during this meeting. Any questions from the committee? Comments? Anybody from the board? Thank you. I'm done with my report.
Item 10, President's Report. Few items. Administration hosted facilities tours for the 3 new members. That completes all 7 members having taken the tour. I'm not going to put anyone on the spot to share their thoughts. But is it safe to say that we all feel that there are major facility infrastructure problems that we need to address and start accounting for? Is that a fair way, without anyone taking a vote, like we all generally agree to that? Fair enough. With that being said, based on the facilities tour and the administrative recommendation, the F&F committee is seeking to commission a team of engineers to create a comprehensive assessment report that will be used to develop a new LRFP for the school. And that will be used to address long-term plans to address needs. This is the first step of the next big step is that a fair way of describing it? Prior LRPs were, and again, no fault of anyone's, prior LRPs were developed by administration and prior boards requesting specific things get done rather than by the architect, rather than requesting the architect come in, dig through the entire place and give us a list of what actually needs to be done to solidify the facility. That's the hope. We are currently, I believe the administration has started the paperwork, and we were discussing putting it out to insert Italian name of contractor here. Gene Ficcaro, our new architect of record.
Is also an engineer.
And the team, they'll be sending a team of 5 engineers in order from air conditioning to structural to roofing to a full-on diagnosis, or I've been referring to it as an MRI of the school. And then they will present their assessment findings and we'll start building the long-range facilities report based off of that. BA's working on the formalities. There will be a cost in the neighborhood of $10,000 to $12,000 for the service that we're doing, but for the cost of what we're losing by not going in the right directions, I would consider it a savings overall. The F&F committee also My friend. We're trying to move it immediately. We'll set goals in alignment with the board goals, but think 2 months to get our assessments back, 2-3 months to build the LRP. Is that fair? So let's talk, we revisit late spring, early summer with new information as to the conditions of the Institute.
If we're okay, I'll send out the RFP. Come
Do we
on,
do a movement on, do we?
to do the RFP now, but once we get the proposal back, I'll bring it to the committee and then it'll be on the next agenda.
Does anyone have any objections to us moving forward with that idea? Fair enough. The FNF committee met with our bond attorney at the January committee meeting. A lot of the stuff was discussed. One, he's a great dude. Holy moly, what a charming fella. The best way to describe the conversation when it came to shifting bond usage is what we've been discussing and what we called the attorney in for. A lot of the bond usage is on bumpers, not rails. There are certain things we can and cannot do. He gave us some ideas, but at the end of the day, any modifications that we do has to follow the spirit and the word of what was presented to the state and to the community. We are currently inside the FNF committee, we're reviewing everything that was sent to the state, everything that was presented in person, but I just wanted to make everyone aware of that conversation and how it piggybacks to the next conversation. Yeah, the summation of that is like, we can't wholly change the parking lot improvement plan. There's very specific things that are written. However, there is room for us to make augmentations to the generator plan, which I think is I don't want to go into that conversation in the president's report, but we made sure that this is a new business. And I'm sure that's going to take up the majority of the new business agenda when we start discussing it. Also, the lawyer came out free of charge, was very helpful and informative. In new business, we'll be discussing holding off sending the generator project to bid, which the time frame was originally January 20th, and we want to reevaluate our options in FNF and present it to the larger board. Any discussion excuse me. We will also discuss continuing to advance the parking lot in new business, but I'm just laying out the conversations that we're about to have. FNF will provide more insight during that discussion in new business. Finally, I begrudgingly congratulate Mrs. Mahoney and her team of students on their impressive trivia night win during the FTS trivia night. We had a team of 3 board members. Our combined knowledge was not strong enough to beat their knowledge of Disney and pop culture music. But I am laying out the warning that I've been listening to Taylor Swift albums in preparation for next year's rematch. And I wanted to take a second to shout out to Miss, and if I butcher the names, I apologize, Miss St. Laurent, Miss Panarelli, Miss Matasta, and the Quakertown Teachers Association for hosting what was really a great night. That's the end of my report.
Can I just add,
Please.
also thanks to those kids who were standing up there, putting the questions out.
There was, and I don't know if they were specific to a group or a club of the school, but a lot of the questions were hosted by the kids, and they did great jobs. I really enjoyed myself at that one. Any questions or discussions on that? All right. Item 11, public comments. All comments to be directed to the board president. The board will not respond to complaints from and to school personnel unless the chain of command has been followed without satisfaction. Furthermore, the board cannot respond to any complaints from the public directed at any district employee or student, as the board must protect each employee and each student's right to privacy. Those wishing to share comments during this portion of the meeting are asked to sign the register at the podium, state their name, place of residence, and group affiliation, if applicable. Public comment shall be concise, to the point, and shall not contain abusive, defamatory, or obscene language. Each speaker will be given up to 3 minutes. Madam Vice President, you're going to work the clock for us again, if you do the honor. And who are we welcoming first?
Elizabeth Basile, 16 Upper Kingstown. Actually, I want to start off with the positive change that I saw on the agenda. The promise for timing of posting the board agendas clearly stated on the agenda by noon on the Monday before each board meeting. So that's really a cool change. And then only one little note, the presentations at SSDA, I did a lot of looking up, and we're not parents of the school. So if you can, anytime you have any initials, just state clearly what it's representing. That'd be great.
There, she asked anytime that we have presentations to write out the acronyms, so people who are in the school. Great suggestion, thank you. Any other? Easy breezy. That would end, we'll end public comment at, do I have to put the time for this? We'll end public comment with no time. Sorry, I have one of those passwords that sometimes work. Finance and facilities. Mark already described it. We broke down finance and facilities to specifically address operational and day-to-day things, acceptance of the billing reports, acceptance of the financial reports, acceptance of the transfer sheets, approval of facilities, and approval to apply for and obtain a local recreational improvement grant from the NJ Department of Community Affairs. No comments from committee. This is all pretty standard fare. Any discussion? Easy one. Can I get a motion to approve action items 12, Alpha through Echo?
Move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Fantastic. Since this involves financial conversations, it requires a roll call vote. Mr. Kramer, if you'd be so kind.
Mrs. Bankin,
Yes.
Mr. Cecil,
Yes.
I said that right? Mrs. Cummins,
Yes.
Mr. Giordano.
Yes.
Mr. Metz,
Yes.
Mrs. Norton,
Yes.
Mr. Norton,
Yes.
passes.
Item 13, curriculum and education. Queen, Mrs. Norton,
That was me.
have at it.
I'm so
Floor is
sorry.
yours.
Yay. This is my first committee meeting, so I want to just say that we had great discussions at the committee, and I'm really looking forward to working with everybody. So first on the agenda was approval of the professional day request. Shout out to some board members who had some days on the list. And thank you to staff who are doing professional development, because the more that they learn, the more we learn. B, field trips. There's no new field trips this month to approve, but I already heard from the kids that they're really looking forward to their spring ones coming up, so they're very excited. C, we have the approval waiver of requirements of SEMI. Yes, so that stands for Special Education Medicaid Initiative, but Mr. Abramowitz is going to discuss it after I'm done with the agenda. D, we have approval of a best choice contract. That's just for the need of substitute nurses, because we need nurses to substitute. And E, we have the approval of the Spanish textbook disposal. It's just that these are just old textbooks that we no longer need that are occupying space. And then I wanted to add to the agenda, I just wanted to mention one great thing that we have going on. We have the Huntington Learning Center coming to FTS. And for any parent who doesn't know what the Huntington Learning Center is, it's a tutoring that comes in and tutors math to the kids. It's up there with the Kumon, with the Silver Oak Learning. It's with Mathnasium. It's on that part. It's a really big tutoring system. And as a parent, I was really excited about that coming to school. It's a really big deal. And I think this is going to be a great improvement for achievement for the students. So that's it. So.
And that's free. That program was Or we're paying with grants? How we doing? We're paying with grants.
Yes.
All right, that's just, so
Which
people
is
know that we're not,
That, it's a big deal and. we'd
yeah,
be very
we're,
proud
that's
of
being
that.
paid for grants, and we'll see some improvements off of it is my hope.
So, Mr. President, that concludes.
Don't do that. Thank you. If we could invite Mr. Abranowitz up, forgive me, this is our special service supervisor of special, he's the man. The floor is yours. Thank you.
So the semi-program Special Education Medicaid Initiative is a program that allows school districts to be reimbursed for health-related services such as speech, OT, physical therapy, etc. However, there are administrative costs to the program, and so the state allows school districts who have less than 40 special education Medicaid eligible students to apply for a waiver. We have here at Franklin only 11 students, and so therefore the program would be cost ineffective. As a result, we would like the board's permission to submit a waiver to the county so that we would not have to take part in the program. Any questions?
Any questions? I
Thank you.
appreciate you taking the time. Also, too, we've talked about it. Mr. Abramowitz was new this year.
Yes.
And we get nothing but fantastic reports, and we appreciate you being part of the core team here. We really mean it. Thank you.
Mr. Kramer loves you.
And Mr. Kramer really does like you. Okay, is there any discussion on the greater curriculum and education report? That's an easy one. Let's try this, because this ain't. Do I hear any objections or abstentions?
We need a motion.
Oh, God damn it, you got me on that one. Can I get a motion to approve action item 13, Alpha through Echo? Allison, can I get a second? Colin on the second. All right. Do I hear any objections or abstentions? Hearing no objections or abstentions, the action item 13, Alpha through Echo is approved by unanimous consent. Item 14, Policy and Personnel. Mrs. Cummings.
Policy and personnel. We have staff appointments. We have a couple of resignations. You'll notice that one of those resignations corresponds with moving that individual into a full-time position as our preschool teacher from a preschool relief teacher. So we have some new positions that we'll be opening up in the form of resignations, approval of volunteers, and approval of home structures. In addition to the items that we have here, which are largely personnel, I wanted to give a quick update on our Strauss-Esme progress. The administration has spent the good part of the last month or so going through all of the standard and recommended policies that Strauss-Esme drops in a very large bulk. What they've been working on is taking a first pass using a dividing and conquering between them to provide a subject matter expertise first review from administration, adding any notes and comments where necessary. That said, the next step would normally be Policy and Personnel Committee goes through and reviews policy changes, recommended new policies, brings them to the full board as the policy committee finds appropriate for full approval. That said, hundreds and hundreds of policies are lots and lots of policies for one committee of 3 to work through. So I did reach out to committee chairs by email and proposed that they please bring to their individual committees the opportunity for us to split these hundreds of documents into groupings. Something like policies that pertain to the business office will be moved over to perhaps facilities and finance to do a next round of review. Policies pertaining to instructional and curriculum-based items will go to education and curriculum for that committee to do a next review following administration's review. Of course, policy will get eyes on all of these because it is our job, but I'm politely asking for our committee chairs to bring to their committees the opportunity to split our homework up a little bit in order for us to expedite the reviews through in more than just the policy committee. So more to come on that. I wanted to make sure each committee had a chance to consider their workloads. Before, we just assumed that we could split everything up amongst ourselves, but I am hoping very much that our committees will kind of link arms with Policy and Personnel Committee and assist us in getting eyes on all of these policies. That said, there will be a lot of policies that are going to be hitting our agenda in waves in the upcoming months, especially as each of the committees and then Policy Committee gets eyes on these and is ready to propose them for full board approval. So be prepared. Our agenda is going to be quite heavy, but it's all in good pursuit of a full refresh of our entire policy manual. So thank you all in advance for anybody whose committee does have the capacity to take on some of the assistance there.
I think we all agree. We got to cut the turkey up so we can swallow it. Everyone's gonna take a swing and take a few hundred pages. How many pages are there?
I'm afraid to ask. I haven't actually.
How many?
All I know is
Are we in the
administration made it
thousands?
through,
It's
and
about
that,
this-
yeah, every time I ask, like, someone goes, I don't know, a lot.
It is a lot.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
it's a lot.
thanks for all the good news.
8 font.
But there's 4 of
8.5.
us doing it.
Great.
No, there's gonna be 8, there's
No,
gonna be
no,
9
no,
of us.
4 people in
administrators.
administration.
Oh, the 4 of you are good.
This whole thing.
And you guys are experts. How long did it take you guys to do it?
We're experts.
I'm just asking as a Yahoo.
We have a few more left to do.
Is late spring goal fair enough for us to aim to make that happen?
Completely fair enough.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments, please?
I do. Under our approval of staff appointments, we are hiring Karen Brenner as our human resources specialist. She will be working 3 days a week. It is not stated there. I did mention that to our committee, but it did not make it on here. I must have left that off. So just so you know, when you approve Karen, she will be here Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay, got a motion, any discussion? Can I get a motion to approve action item 14, Alpha through Delta?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Mrs. Naughton, Mrs. Cummings on the second. Because this involves hiring, we will be doing a roll call vote. Mr. Kramer?
Mrs. Bankin,
Yes.
Mr. Cecil,
Yes.
Mrs. Cummins,
Yes.
Mr. Giordano,
Yes.
Mr. Metz,
Yes.
Mrs. Norton,
Yes.
Mr. Norton,
Yes.
passes.
And we're missing, I think I'm missing a page. Do we go into new business? Oh, copy that. Oh. Yeah, forgive me, I'm missing a whole page. Item 15, communications, Mr. Cecil, formation and objective updates.
Yeah, so we had our first meeting, I think, seemed to go well, got on very well. The number of things that we discussed, firstly, we want to make sure that whatever we commit to, we can sustain. We're not going to come out and promise a lot of stuff and then forget about it 3 months in. So we want to look at making sure what we commit to is going to carry forward. To that end, we want to review the current communication platforms we have available to us. Obviously, the website, we have the letters of community, the paw print, we have notices to the public. So we want to take a look at these and understand how can they be used and improved before creating any new platforms. We are going to consider a newsletter, and Alison has kindly agreed to look into what is being done elsewhere in the state, so we can get some baselines. But we first want to see what we have available to us before we make anything new. I've heard a lot of things about the website, not many of them too positive. So we want to take a look at that, both from the content and the presentation. How can that be made better for the community? We're also going to look into some other ideas about perhaps on the minutes of a meeting, can we include when we vote on it a summary and some key tags so that when people want to search for something, it's easier to find the meeting minutes that apply to the content they're interested in. I think a lot of information for the new board members we gained from the facilities tour, seeing the actual state of the building. And one of the things that we discussed is, can we do a virtual facilities tour? Recordings and photographs that could be posted. So as we move into the long range plan and we're discussing with the community, in front of the community, you can actually see the content that is being referred to. So making it easier to understand. And certainly as we prepare for the budget phase, as we look at the upcoming reworking of the long-range plan, we've got to make sure we're sharing this with the community in a way that's understandable and you can appreciate the decisions and the discussions that are being held. So more to come, but I think we were off to a good start.
Any discussion? Anyone have anything to add? The one thing I did want to add to what you were saying is a lot of our problems could be solved here if we could tour the community through the building. But legally, we can't. We're going to have to figure out a way to message and hand out photographs and a way to,
Part of the RFP that I'm put together,
the assessment report.
anything that is, that needs fixing is they are required to take photos. And then depending on how the report's provided to us, we'll look at it and maybe the whole entire report can be provided to the community. If there's anything sensitive in there, because it might get into security or something like that, we might have to redact or something. But I do have in there that photos are required to be submitted.
Yeah, and
I
that's,
was advised by the administration to stop inviting people to the boiler room so they can see what's going on there. But yes, 100%.
and to that end, I mean, that's great if we can share it, but I also want to make sure that it is consumable. So it's not just a document stuck up there. If there's a way of walking people through to help them understand,
Make
it more digestible, we'll take a look at that.
Yeah, there could be a presentation once we.
Maybe we
review
do
it
that as
and
well,
it's ready.
presentation around it. Any other further on communications? Township Committee Liaison. I attended the January reorg meeting, same mayor, new member, both really great guys, nothing to report. Sometime in February is the next one. I'll have updates then. Hunterdon County Educational Services Commission, Mr. Metz, you just started on that. Is there any reports from that?
No,
We're just signing up and getting involved. We're pretty early.
I hope you didn't miss that.
All right, we're gonna pivot to, what do you guys want to do but first? The generator and site and project improvement project conversation or the setting of the board goals?
Generator.
Generator it is. Choose your own adventure. Okay. We're bringing, let me get my notes on this. Oh, you know what? Let me add one quick one before we get into the thick of it. Me and Chief Aquino attended the Strauss-Esme Law and Policy Symposium on January 20th at Ocean University. A lot of great information pertaining, actually, give this to her. Ocean County College. That's what I've given you is the presentations on all the policy changes that are happening over the next year.
Because we don't have enough of those coming.
But added to put it on top of the diner menu you have going on.
They're already in our policy.
We already built in. Copy that.
We already have.
There was a lot of information pertaining to the Right to Read Act. It was a great networking opportunity. I met all of Mrs. Aquino's closest 200 friends and colleagues who kept on high-fiving her. We met superintendents from Hunterdon County and all over the place. It was a great environment. Passed all of the presentation materials to P&P for future reference. All right, generator. So we're going to break it up into two conversations. We're going to discuss the generator and we're going to discuss the parking lot site improvements. I'm going to give you, I'm the president, but I'm going to give you my opinions as an individual board member. I'm going to try staying impartial as the president, but I want that to kickstart the conversation we're about to have on the generator. FNF is recommending to pause this project for the time. And we're going to cite the following reasons for discussion. The ROI of the project is questionable. And community members are fair to assert that there was no formal studies or data collection sets needed to support the need for that. It was pretty much anecdotal. But anecdotally, as we go back and start assessing how many days off and things we've had, it would appear, without us doing a deep dive, and you got to remember, all long-term information dies the day before Mr. Kramer got here. So it has been doing a lot of looking back and checking calendars. But the reality of it is that the school in and of itself only really has an average of 1 day of blackouts with a handful of brownouts measured in hours. Historically, I'm not willing to go back and call the electric company and do a 10-year review of the conversations that we're having to get an aggregate. We will concede the fact that 5-6 years ago, there was a massive electrical problem with the school that added 3 to 4 days off, but that does not change the average mathematics of the 10 years that we see. That's reason one. Also, we historically have not exhausted our budget for makeup days when it comes to both snow and electricity. So I would present to everyone that becomes a need project once we start cashing all of our days off and using the makeups. Second, we have to figure out a way to phase these projects because the current plan has us digging up about 80% of the inside perimeter of the school property while conducting major internal repairs to the pre-K classrooms, the kindergarten, and the nurse's office. All of those are going to be happening in the same 60-day window throughout the summer. To add insult to add a little, to tie our shoes together a little bit more, the county will be digging up all of Quakertown Road in that exact same time period that we are attempting to make all these school changes. We have no say on that, but they will be completely disrupting. They'll be doing the exact same thing to their street that we're doing to the parking lot, and there's no way to overlap those. It's creating logistical concerns, so we're talking about dialing some things back initially. And the district has 5 years to spend bond funds. I don't see a need for us to chase this snowball down the hill and put ourselves in a situation. Hold off to the end. I'm with you though. Pausing the generator fund, also a usage, and forgive my language, gives us an oh shit fund if the parking lot project goes awry. While there is a 10 to 15% contingency built into the budgeting of the parking lot project, something in my stomach is telling me if we find dinosaur bones or J. Edgar Hoover, we do not have the capital reserves to attack any big interruption to the project. And if we cannot open the school and have buses arrive onto the property because we're fussing around with the electrical boxes, we're going to be putting ourselves in a really ugly situation. The governing rules, the next point, I'm just going to give you a few points and then you guys can run with the conversation. The governing rules, the state has us forcing our experienced interim BA, who by all measures is the GC of the projects that we're about to do for the district. Mr. Mark will be forced exit from his contract, and he'll be stepping over the shovels of the projects we're about to do. I do not know, none of us know who the next business administrator will be, but interest in that role would suggest to me that they're not going to be Mark. Maybe that's a better way of saying it without offending new people coming in. I don't see that we're going to get the best of experience, and we're going to be throwing our BA into the deep end of the swimming pool when it comes to our operations budget combined with our bond referendum usage, because that person's going to be overseeing all of the projects. And shout out to Mark. If we could keep you, I would pay the price. And finally, there's a new understanding amongst all of us about the facilities conditions and the district's financial situation. The board has to focus in on message-only needs projects moving forward. And I'm going to present based off of what I'm saying. I find the generator to be a perfect example of a once project. It'd be nice, but these are champagne tastes on a beer budget. There are major things that need to be done inside the school, and I'll point to water coming out of the roof, or I'll point to water leaking in the bathrooms. if there is a legal way for us to modify the usage of these funds, we need the F&F committee and the administration needs time to figure that out. So, in summation, the point of what I'm trying to motion, we have to get a motion for this, right?
I'd like a board
We
direction.
would need a board direction to hold off the bidding when it comes to the generator bond project. That bidding was supposed to begin or be submitted January 20th. We already held that off to have that conversation today. Who would like to go first? Mr. Cecil. Oh, you know what, Colleen? I promised you. Go ahead, Colleen.
Yeah, and I'll be quick because well, I hope I'll be quick. My initial knee-jerk question was in response to the Quakertown Road project.
Yes.
How is that going to impact our ability for the contractors that we need here on school property to be entering and exiting during a time period when the road is under construction?
We have no idea. Our hope is professional courtesy and sportsmanship between similar like-minded people. They're gonna have to develop a path for us to get, because it's not just the parking lot machinery. We're digging into the ground, putting water maintenance, we're ripping down walls, we're putting in bathrooms.
Yeah,
It's a lot that's going on.
there's a lot.
And no, we have no authority or insight as to how this is going to go down because it's not even like I can go talk to the mayor. It's that's a county road and it's way above my pay grade.
Yeah. Are any conversations happening with the county to plan or start conversation around, hey, would you like to be friendly to us? Because we're going to need you to be friendly.
No, we thank them for giving us a heads up in their letter, and that's where the conversation ends because we will do it in a professional capacity because it's a good idea, but we have no authority is not the word I'm looking for, agency in what
It's
they
our
do.
jurisdiction.
Yeah. Mr. Cecil.
There's a couple of things. So firstly, although the generator is being put on hold, the intention is to consider the generator when the parking lot improvements are made. So there's conduit would be needed should the generator move forward, that will be put in place.
So yeah, that was a discussion. I'm sorry to jump on you. That was a discussion in F&F. It is very cheap for us to put the PVC infrastructure into the parking lot to receive the generator for if a future board or we move on that idea. It's the cost of about 100 feet of PVC piping. We're already going to be digging it up and we're already landing the concrete pad there in support of the trash and putting a fence around the new trash facility. The discussion of F&F has been, if we do stop this, let's not lose the idea, get the piping in there, put caps on it. And if the usage of going for a whole building generator continues, we don't have to stop it or create more expenses or destroy the work we just did to our beautiful new parking lot. Or a later board can come in and redevelop. Thinking even further and thinking big picture, there's a universe that if we do the LFRP and future funding plan properly, we could fund a generator based off of the interest generated by a large enough bond alone. If we didn't put it into our capital reserves or use it to support the operating budget. But then we're getting into the fourth quarter conversation there.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share that so people were aware. From my perspective, the concern that I really have at this point in time is the timing, with all of the factors that we are facing in terms of the Quakertown Road, in terms of the parking lot, the improvements inside. Adding anything into this jeopardizes the ability to deliver on opening the school on time. And so I just think for me, that really was the prudent path forward to say, let's minimize the risk in any way we can. We have so much going on in this summer. This again is I would concur, it's a want, not a need. And I think that is an appropriate path to be taken.
Anyone else?
Just to clarify for the public, this does not affect the parking lot
That's
No.
the next conversation we'll have. I wanted to keep it specific to the individual bond usage and gauge them off their own merits, so to speak. I do think, don't get me wrong, I have a whole home generator and it would be awesome. But there's so much more important stuff that the school, if we have the ability to go after internal improvements, I would suggest that. We can still soup up based off of the lawyer's recommendation. We can go to a smaller generator and attack our boiler. We can swap out the generator. There is so much more. The bumpers are wider on that project than any other. The pre-K classroom and that work is fantastic. No one's discussing that at all. But yeah, good point. This is just generator conversation.
As far as the bond attorney, I think there was potential that the generator project could be altered. As I think what you just said, that might not have been clear, that we already know that we can change it or modify it. I don't think we have determined that.
That's a fair assumption. That's a fair point. My read on what they said is we absolutely can, because his specific example was if you go to a smaller generator. But the thing that we're seeking here is time, more than anything else. I'm not calling for an all-out cancellation of the generator project just yet. What I'm asking for is to give us time to evaluate what we can legally do, because to me, but based off of the lawyer's recommendation, it's about the spirit and the word of what was said. And we want to make sure that when we do launch whatever that plan is, we can back that both legally and ethically. But yes, the conversation right now is to put it on the table, to table it,
Well, I think
to delay.
we're waiting to have bond attorney as well as us review the state paperwork. Correct?
That's what's coming in for us, but we need to make a decision because we're off schedule when it comes to the architects. So we have to give administration what's the word I'm looking for? The directive, a former directive to halt the bidding process for the generator. We can revisit it in a couple months, but my point is, no matter what, I would kick off this funding I would kick off any real plan of the funding until the parking lot is done and the lines are down and the kids are in the school. Because to me, one of the most important things, and I keep on going to it, is the OCRAP funds. There is the bond in and of itself, of the overall size of the bond, cannot support a huge mistake. And if we have a huge mistake, we'll all be sitting here digging in August trying to get this project done in time for the school to open. I would just want to avoid the worst case scenario. And I'm doing this because I've spoken to 3 different prior board presidents, and this is what they keep on warning me about, to not get over our skis when it comes to the amount of money we have in our pocket. People cite the single pillar in the front of the school that's holding up the awning. That was a decision made based on running out of funds. I would much rather pull some of those funds out to better the parking lot situation, or have a knife in our belt if this turns ugly. That's the idea. Any other questions, discussion? I'm inviting everyone on this one, guys, because this is one of the hardest turnabouts where we would be doing as a board.
The only thing that I'll add is that in that attorneys meeting, I learned a lot in terms of what we can and cannot do. And one of the things is that commitments have been made not only to the community, but also to the state, and that has legal standing. So the wording of the bond matters. The wording in the presentation to the state matters. And so even though the bond, for example, on the car park, that says car park improvements, once we've made a commitment to the state, that's something that's in writing and it can't just be ignored. So there is a lot of commitments that have already been made. We have, as the president says, we have guardrails and we're looking to operate within them and operate ethically. But we have commitments that we do have to fulfill.
At the end of the day, we'll do the right thing and to the best of our ability and get the most for the students and in good faith of using the taxpayers' funds. But we're we're giving caution to the course is maybe a better way of saying it. Anyone else?
I just think it's important, like, for the community, because the feedback I've had with conversations with people in the community is that it's not just the bond language that everyone voted on, it's in concert with what we submitted to the state.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Sure.
They just go right to that bond language. Obviously, that's a much more vague and
Correct, yeah.
generalized version of what we submitted to the state.
That's very fair. Did you like, Ms. Queen, do you have anything you'd like to add as the chief? This is your school.
They sent me before, but I lost it.
I won't put you on the spot then.
Yeah, I lost it.
Hold on one second. I just want to,
For Colin to rebrand it the car park.
no more using English terms. This is banking, your
So
thoughts.
the idea is that we would delay this project to make sure we don't have any issues with funding for the parking lot, and then maybe modify the generator project with, if something happens, leftover funds, to just sort of deprioritize it, but still.
Yeah, the best way to say is to give the administration and finance and facility a time and opportunity to come up with some better plans and some better usage ideas. Those usage ideas have to fit within the wording of the bond referendum given to the community in the state. So there's even limitations to our backup plans. But by all accounts, based on the laws and how things are written, there'll be some sort of generator that we can't eliminate it.
So the one thing, if I recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, that if the entire fund is consumed in the parking lot.
No,
The
the car park project.
At the car park university.
Car park
That does give a right for the board to then have a break on other commitments that we are unable to fulfill.
Mark, you might be able to.
Is that
speak on
correct?
that?
So if we do the parking lot and we basically to cover that, it consumes the entire bond fund, the parking lot and the bathroom cover the entire bond money, that then we do not proceed with the generator without going back to the community because there's no money left.
No. If it comes in over budget, there should be a recommendation not to accept the bids.
Okay,
And then, yeah, that's the way that would work.
okay, thank you, my mistake.
Any other discussion, any other thoughts?
So, Mr. Kramer, when you say you need a board action on this or board decision on this or board direction, is there anything formal that we need to vote on right now? Do we need a motion
I would-
to
I would-
formally vote on?
I would wait until we
Elaine?
get to, other business and do a roll call there for it.
Okay,
We'll give them a few minutes to come up with some clever wording for it. So you guys feel like we covered that? Does anyone have anything else to say? Any other thoughts? Okay, then we're going to pivot to the parking lot. I'm going to share the same thoughts based off of the conversations that we had with the attorney. The parking lot's altogether different in the situation that we're in. The citing of additional parking spots is clear in the state forms and in the referendums that, more specifically, the state forms. In the maps that were put out that had the architects, they reference a specific amount of parking spots. Our bond attorney says that we can go from, if we advertise 50, we can go down to 30, but we cannot go down to 10. So when it comes, a lot of that's pretty clear. Again, we keep on digging at it. Me and Mr. Metz have been doing this for over a year, discussing these things. While I agree at the sticker shock of the price, the challenge, maybe is the best way of saying it. I view this as a need. The change of the drop-off and pickup situation and cars being on Quakertown Road, that has to be addressed. It's a clear and present danger to the students, but to the community and to the new board members. When it came to the work that me and Mr. Metz and this is Lewinko too, and the administration can tell you, we tasked them 7 different ways from Sundays of things that we handed in new map proposals. We argued with the architect. What else did we do?
It's like how that last step is gonna work and
Yeah.
staffing and.
We would stand in the parking lot looking at each other going like, how the hell? To be honest with you, we sent Mr. Kramer and Mrs. Aquino to our neighbors to knock on their doors with crumb cake. We made crumb cake in order to, in an attempt to acquire property that would turn this expenditure into an asset acquisition for the district. No takers. And I'm going to say personally, we're kind of at the end of the road with any good recommendations. There's some plans that we put forward. We switched directions. We had cars going sideways. Everything that we could possibly think of. But I try to think of the best way. I agree with Mr. Betts when he said, like, we have exhausted and examined all options here when it comes to figuring out how to change course here. We passed a lot. Yeah, we advanced maps. We had them knocking on the neighbor's door. I brought that up. Modifying that plan and creating the delays on the project, both legally and ethically, puts the board and the district at risk. And I think it's perilous for us to attempt to separate the raisins from the bread here. Like, the parking spots are what they are. It's about bringing cars off the street and bringing them onto our campus to create a longer line. The hope is to get 50 cars off the street in order for us to have some breathing room, not just take off what's there, but to allow room for growth. And I'll go into that a little bit. One note operationally that I'm going to say that because this ain't recommendations or anything. The past 2 years, one of the top recommendations for operating budget cuts was to eliminate courtesy busing. We can't have that on the menu or even consider it because the amount of cars that would be added to the end of the line would stretch the drop off all the way down to the fire department. So in an attempt to save a few $1,000s here and there, we're locking ourselves into hundreds of thousands of dollars of operational costs without us fixing or extending the parking lot. We do need to build capacity with that. And I'm advising that we move forward with the original plan, make some modifications as we keep doing as we have, and set the internal goal to try keeping the overall price of this under $1 million. That way we're kind of there in their proposal, right? They were under $1 million.
Yeah, they were.
And the last one,
Yeah.
the goal is to keep the overall price to $1 million.
I think it was $1.2 million, wasn't it?
No, $1.2 million is the usage granted. The proposal that they gave,
I thought
For-
it was high eights.
it was like
Wait, are we talking the site?
Just parking.
the parking lot.
I thought it was 1.2, yeah.
No, that's the usage amount. The breakdown, right? The expenditure breakdown was 970,000.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, soft costs.
Soft costs.
Or in the
So
same-
better way to say, so we're all keeping our language there to keep the soft cost under $1 million. And then there's a universe where we have the $800,000 from the generator project and whatever we have in our pocket that we saved by limiting certain parts of the overall parking lot project and not going for broke. Maybe we don't put in the swimming pool. Maybe valet parking will be removed, but there's certain ideas there. Additionally, it built into the plan and the expenses is new basketball courts, fencing, hopscotch areas. We can be very clever about the usage. But my personal recommendation, not of the board or as the president, is that we advance that and move it forward. We will be at 90% designs in February.
At the end of January, beginning.
We'll say the end of January. That would be advanced for bidding, which I think we should do mid to late February.
The advertising should be going out in February.
The advertising for the bidding will be going out in February. The goal would still be, right, to get this done this summer and have a big ribbon cutting ceremony on our first day in the parking lot to celebrate. I don't know. That's not tasking you with stuff. I'm just trying to look at the bright side. I'm going to open up it to conversation. Who would like to start?
The only other thing I wanted to add is
Mr. Metz.
we have obviously brought to them our concerns about all these projects going on simultaneously, and they have assured us to some level that they've taken that into consideration.
Yeah, I don't believe the hype, but that's fair. It's fair for us to trust them,
Yeah.
but let's be realistic. I have a trench in my backyard that's gonna be there
Oh,
for the
yeah.
next 3
I mean,
years.
just to be clear, the conversation has been had and
Yeah.
we've been given that assurance. What that's worth, we'll find out.
Yeah, no, we constantly, every time we have the conversation and meet with them, we go, are you gonna be able to do all of this? And they're like,
Well, yeah, because
this is what we do.
pre-K bathrooms, there's a whole team of people that need to park their cars in the parking lot that won't exist, so that they
Correct.
can walk inside
Yes,
and do the interior work.
Yeah.
And they can't park on the street anymore because there won't be a street either.
a gaffer once gave me advice when I started working for him that you gotta look out for yourself. No one's going to your funeral. I know these guys are really nice people, but they are not they're not gonna show up here and explain why we bankrupted the program.
Mhm.
They're our employees, but third-party vendors, but they are still our employees.
And we still have 12-month employees that will be driving and coming into work.
Also,
Oh, yeah, that's
we're
one thing that was not
assuming the union's
mentioned,
doing ESY, right?
ESY will be held somewhere else.
Yeah, it's gonna have to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but there will still be administration and work that's being done throughout the summer in addition to everything we have going on. I think we're having a circus in the gymnasium at the same time too. No, I'm kidding. Any other thoughts?
I just
Mr. Matt,
add
Mr.
that
Cecil?
from a timing perspective, it's fish or cut bait. We can't
I
we can't
agree.
push this any further without basically saying, no, we're not going to be doing this summer. So it would be wonderful to look at this further. I know that Mr. Norton, Mr. Metz have been looking at this, and it comes to a diminishing returns in the opportunity, but most importantly, we're out of time. We're either doing this or we're doing nothing.
Yeah, a lot of this is set in, a lot with the parking lot is the die is cast, for lack of better term. Mrs. Norton?
Just to reiterate, you said that because of the bond wording, we do have to include parking lot spaces.
Absolutely, right, Mark,
Well,
right,
Can't get
absolutely.
around that. It has
Yeah,
to
like we were trying to cut it, right? We've been trying to cut it 1,000 ways. There is paperwork, both with the state and possibly put out into the public. But any diagrams that were made from H2M when it came to the parking lot clearly have a box that states that we put ourselves at a lot of risk by removing the concept.
All right, going on that, saying
Sorry,
that
go
you
ahead.
have extra parking lot, you need parking lot spaces. Were there any other plans discussed of putting spaces in maybe?
Yeah,
And
I'll be honest with you,
the last plan that we had in December, is that the plan that we are?
it's
going
essentially
forward?
been the same plan all along with little tweaks here and there. When I tell you that we went out in the amount of times that the group of us have debated and argued about this, we went out into parking lots, we figured out this, we found out through this exercise that we can't connect anything to the back 20 acres. The majority of our property is completely cut off from so we were looking at putting a new parking lot. There became access point problems. We were looking at putting a path from our back property to the solar field. Those have expense and DEP problems. The reality when it comes to the designs of this institute is years over years of painting itself in the corner. We are up to the line with the neighbor next door. We are up to the line when it comes to the DEP and environmental. And all of those environmental lines were drafted and solidified when they did the 2000 parking. What did they do? They did what was the last thing we built? The gymnasium?
The
What-
theater-
Renovations?
the theater.
The theater, whatever the one that required a big building.
Oh, the big building.
The library? Was it
Maybe the library
2011.
extension, 2011. The lines at which we are allowed to build, especially on this part of the property, are written in stone when it comes to DEP. And not only is there a level 1, there's a level 2, right? And then there's a level 3 we're not even allowed to breathe near. All of these plans fit within those requirements, and I'll give the architect credit. They've addressed every concern that we've attempted to bring up because we have been throwing rocks in their path to try tripping this up, to challenge it the best as possible. Mrs. Bankins.
Will you be speaking with H2M about the project before it's presented again in February, or are they doing work on it to 90% and then we all get a presentation?
We can have them do another presentation, but the bids,
Oh, there is
the
no additional
advertisement for
presentation.
bidding is going out, and that's when those documents will be sent out to the bidders.
We're
Got
reaching the end of the road. We can,
No,
no,
I just wasn't sure if they come back again or it's.
we can invite them back. They,
We can-
again, they're our vendor. They work for us. We can call them here to explain everything. But again, they're giving us what was asked for, is the best way of saying it. I don't think their plans are wrong or they did anything incorrect. We specifically asked for an expansion of the parking lot, additional parking, and a solve for our pickup and drop off lines. To be honest with you, this plan beats any plan that any one of us has put together in countering that.
Well, I think also it should be noted that the expansion of that parking lot is literally what gives us the opportunity to keep the buses and the cars separate.
That's a good point. It gives us the capacity
Yeah,
to
we
make
shouldn't
things
be
happen within the parking.
communicating these as separate concerns, because without that expansion, that other thing becomes much more difficult.
100%. That's a great point. We address it and talk about the expansion having to do with just the parking. That is unfair. That is giving us the ability to open up double lanes and have traffic going through it. The expansion adds our ability to bring cars on the campus as well.
The one thing I was looking at the plans, and this is not a suggestion to change anything in the spirit of plans, but there are two ways when you make a right, there are two different ways that cars can physically be. There's like that little parking lot to the side. I don't know how many cars are still left on Quakertown Road, but would it be possible to queue in both places and have them join to get even more cars off?
That's a concept and a map we drew. To be honest with you, the plan is just to pull every car in one direction, so it's the same. The idea, we create a new entrance that allows queuing cars to go in line. The existing entrance that currently is there becomes the bus entrance. The restructurings of the overall parking lot allow the bus to make U-turns and line up in front of the school. Because again, I'm throwing out ideas that have kids getting out on the opposite side, get out in the street. We're trying our best, but like, to your point, it's where are these, how are we going to manage these entrances? We need to build new entrances. And the existing lanes get doubled. So we're creating two-way traffic in the existing lot, and then it would be one-way traffic on the expansion. The idea keeps pickups and drop-offs where they currently are, but going in the opposite direction that we currently do. I'm just going to say the hope is that this gets all the cars off.
Yeah.
But also too, I'm going to say it out loud so the public's aware, the county's on us about this too. About us creating danger, us destroying neighbors. They're challenging us to get this solved, which I think only speaks to the point of what we were to do your thing. Any other questions? Concerns?
I was just at Clinton Public School Monday to take the girls skiing or sledding. And I did notice, I'm like, this is a modern parking lot. Like, we are due for modern.
I agree with that.
Of our parking lot, like just the way it was painted and the fencing and the curbing, and that's the school I went to, however many years ago. It was not like that. It was very rudimentary. I think we're in that class. Yeah. I was in that parking. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
This is what a school parking lot should have.
I also think that this parking lot is the perfect forefront ship of what we're attempting to do here moving forward. It's not just the parking lot's the first of many serious repairs that need to happen here. And you guys have heard me through the past year. I disagreed with it up until the point where we had the meeting and we have new insights and new eyes on it. But even the new eyes, right? We had an architect walk the grounds with us just as a courtesy. And they had am I fair saying that? Very little to add outside of expanding other parts of the parking lot. You could say, I just want the community and the board to know that we tried. Holy crap, we tried. And we tasked administration with more hurdles and jumps, and that's why Mark doesn't like me. So, any other conversation, any other thoughts, guys? Okay, I'm gonna kill time because we need,
Board goals.
right. Board goal. Oh, God, this is gonna be work today. No, you're not gonna handle it. I'm gonna have you handle it. Work for a living. Do it.
Sent in the emails earlier today for board goals. Mr. Cecil collected all of them together, and then we aggregated them down to themes and tasks. Did everyone get the chance to read it? Is this the, I don't want to pressure anyone. You know, and I didn't make copies for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, we had to. We're gonna do it on the board. Maybe the best way of saying the board goals, since we handed it out, I don't want to go, did everyone get a chance to read it? The idea behind it, maybe the better way of saying is, what do you hate on this? Or what do you think isn't a good or meritorious goal or task, and we'll remove it? Mrs. Aquino,
Yes. I'd like to start.
please do.
Board goal 3,
Yes,
I love, but it's a district goal, not a board goal.
very fair. Is there any way we can parse something out of that? Do you think we want to?
I do think that we have some of those things in our district goal. There's some others that we can jockey around a little bit, but you know, student achievement is really what we're.
Kind of your we're kind of your wheelhouse,
Yes.
right? Fair enough.
Yes, that's what I would.
So would you recommend we just pull that goal entirely
I
and
would.
push it towards redeveloping the district, adding them into the district goal, your district goals? The district goal. I
Yes.
guess we are the district. I
Yes.
see what's happening
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Fair enough. Anyone oppose that? All right, then we'll move one of the tasks over to the of the policy and personnel focus. We'll have the curriculum and education group handle that. So maybe, how about we do this? When it comes to the board training and the self-evaluation, we make that part of the curriculum and education committee to handle. And policy and personnel keeps focusing on the thousands of pages of policy changes. The idea behind this, guys, is that
Wait, hold on, what are you moving to curriculum?
so we're going to be eliminating 3.
Yes.
Board goal 4 will now become the purview of the curriculum and education committee to ensure that we get it done this year. I think all you have to do is we have to create a self-evaluation framework for board goals. We'll get you the information, you guys present it, and we'll bring it to the board.
Okay.
Fair enough?
I have a question, go back to,
Yes.
goal 3, hidden in there outside of literacy is about, more outdoor recess, hands-on learning and healthy lifestyle curriculum. Can that go somewhere else or does that get kind of tossed, is that already in a district goal?
It's not stated in the district goal, but it's something that we're trying to do through committee to bring into the district and be aware of those things and push it through. It's not in the district goal.
It's not written that way, but the spirit of it's in, we can transfer it over. Because I think it's a good recommendation.
It gets a little bit into day-to-day operation there.
On the education 3,
Yeah, which is really not our purview.
I would pull all of goals, because again, we have enough goals. I would pull all of 3 and ask you to hold that for next time we have the district goals conversation. Any other thoughts? I'll give you guys a minute. And the theme, to everyone who's home who can't see this, is the theme we chose was a goal without a plan is just a wish. The entire thing is built around the idea of developing a long-term funding thesis and helping support the operations budget and making us a better board and doing training. I really personally like the goal for the 4 new members to attempt to earn their NBM boardmanship certification. It's not as difficult as you think it is. But it's the old adage my dad used to say, failure to train is training to fail. I am one of those 4, and I am going back to my governance 1 training in person. What's that? I'm still a new member here. But yeah, I'm doing it. I have to go back to retrain governance 1 in person in order to qualify for it.
Just for the people at home, if you could just read the board goals out loud, just the.
Just the top
in bold,
lines?
just so they know.
All right, so the top line goals, each goal has task attached. I'm not going to bore everyone with it. Board goal number 1 is to refocus on budget accountability, rebuild LFRP, and develop the long-range facilities report, which we already talked about, so it's built into it, and develop a long-term funding thesis to present to the community when it comes to future budget planning and facility usage. Board goal 2 is advance community engagement and bolster district trust. Board goal 4, now 3, is board member engagement and training. Bonus, board goal A is the Strauss Esme district policy and bylaws overhaul, the one we all love. And bonus, board goal B is ensure chief school administration evaluations. This will be the first year that this district is actually doing it themselves, and it's a notable goal. Any thoughts on that, Mrs. Aquino?
I mean, I do love that it's a goal, but it is mandated.
I don't care if it's mandated.
We definitely need to do that.
There's been
yes.
tons of things that are mandated that don't reach accomplishment and goals. I would say let's write it down and knock it off the list. Not having anything to do with you, Mr. Kramer. Anything else? Does anyone know a BA?
Yeah.
Do we have to, we don't have to vote on this or anything, right?
When it's finalized, yes.
Okay, well, are we guys comfortable calling this finalized and just removing 3?
There's a couple of wording things on Jeff, but I don't think it rises.
Let me put it through the washer with, let's
have it on February's agenda to approve the
Yeah.
goals. but-
Yeah.
we'll start working off of what we have currently.
Yeah.
Sounds fantastic. Great, that answers that. Any other thoughts on goals? Good. Item 19, public comments. All public comments should be directed to the board president. The board will not respond to complaints from and to school personnel unless the chain of command has been followed without satisfaction. Furthermore, the board cannot respond to any complaints from the public directed at any district employee or student, as the board must protect each employee and each student's right to privacy. Those wishing to share comments during this portion of the meeting are asked to sign the register at the podium, state their name, place of residence, and group affiliation, if applicable. Public comments shall be concise, to the point, and shall not contain abusive, defamatory, or obscene language. Each speaker will be given up to 3 minutes. Come on now. Let's welcome Mrs. Pesile. Miss, oh, you get me every time. I'm
Frank has a
sorry.
different last name. Okay. See.
Is that right? Say Elizabeth?
Yes.
Welcome,
yes.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Basile, Franklin Township. Okay, the first 2 public comments I have is actually from a different resident who couldn't attend. He's asking, the sheriff or county is now leaving their police car here at the school versus the Franklin Township police car. Is that accurate? If it is the school paying the county directly for this expense? If there is one, if I didn't even know, he was asking me, I don't know if there's an expense. And if it is it the same amount that was being paid? And then the second part of that question is the county now overseeing the Class 3 officer versus the Franklin Township Police with all that's going on? His third part was, he asked me to get clarification on the update about the Class 3 officer. The original Class 3 officer was hurt, his leg, he believes, and was undergoing surgery and would be on leave, and there was a replacement, correct? And if that is true, what is the current status of the Class 3 officer, and is it back to the original one or still a replacement? Okay, now these are my three things. I received an e-blast from Christine Burke regarding kindergarten registration, so we know she can do e-blast. So I'm waiting for an e-blast for the meetings. That would be really great. Two, I would really like the documents and wording that Franklin School HTM 2M submitted to the state, as it seems it does not mirror in spirit what was sold to the community, since it's different wording, and the residents had voted on. So why was the spirit and wording changed from what was on the ballot? That's a really big question. The soft cost is set by H2M, I would believe, on all of our projects. What is the plan if your bid for parking lot is over 1.2 million, and which is not even the soft budget? Does the project get shut down?
We can, is anyone else? All right, we'll end public comment. I think we can take a second to answer some of those. Is that okay? No, we can't tell you about how the officer's doing, or yes, he did get injured. We can't go into details about it. No, he's been injured, but we're not allowed to discuss it. Yes, the Hunterdon County Sheriff's Office took over. No, I don't believe there's an additional charge for the car. Everything that we were paying prior for the Class 3 officer is the same. It's just the county took over because of information that everyone knows. If the project went over, we wouldn't be able to advance it if it was too much. I can't speak to the soft cost, but the real cost of everything will come from the bidding. It's all theoretical until you get the shovel men come in. And there was another question. I'm sorry. The wording. I'm going to be honest with you. And forgive me if I go too far, guys. I don't see any malicious intent in what they were doing. I think it was just the development of the plan along the way. What the architect wrote to what the school wrote, they were all moving in the same direction. The conversations that we're having about unwinding these things is so original. This doesn't happen very often. So I can't speak to why certain things say certain things, but we need to, in the spirit of things, go by what it's across the whole. We're absolutely, you can tell by how we're sweating at the work here. We're absolutely trying to do the best thing and do right by the community in everything that we do. Continue. Terry.
Come back with another referendum at some point. How does the community lead the spirit of those words that we're voting on the ballot?
I can't turn this into a question and answer, but I will say this, right? Don't blame, we can't be held to the actions of our prior boyfriends. Like that's the past. We're the new folks here. And whatever plan that we put forward is a plan that we trust. And I hope we get that type of a leash and trust as you can see, as we're trying to develop our communication apparatuses, the way that we're going about current funding that was decided prior to our regime, maybe is the best way of saying it. But I'm going to be honest, we can't answer for past administration. It's not fair. Mr. Metz.
Just that context, really in the spirit of what I said earlier, is just in terms of bond process, the paperwork that's submitted to the state is this big.
Yeah.
Bond wording is this big. So there's
That's
always
well
going to
said.
be a discrepancy. I don't know that, I keep hearing spirit. I don't know that spirit was, but the paperwork submitted to the state is much more broad. That's just bond process. We can't put all that into wording of bond when it's voted on.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of how it works.
And to be honest, I think it's unfair to point fingers at anyone, but you could say young board, you can say disinterested administration, you can say turnover, you got to say there's been a lot of cooks into this stew. And the only steady thing has been Mr. Kramer, and he's been the one that keeps us on the path to making sure that we don't do wrong. Is the best way of saying it. Mr. Cecil.
Just as you build on what Ms. Metz was saying, my in hearing from the attorney, the intent with bond, when a bond goes out, the wording is very broad. It gives latitude to the board and the architects to come in with a plan that is aligned with the wording. So to say, I don't know quite the angle of the question, but the fact that the plans are a lot more detailed, as Mr. Metz indicated, than the bond wording, that's quite normal, is the indication of the process, that we're going to keep the bond wording simple to give flexibility. I don't know whether there was another plan that you're alluding to, and I'm not going to get into the back and forth, but what was explained to me is that is a natural process. You start with a broad wording in the bond, you would narrow it down in a plan that's submitted to the state. And with that submission to the state, we've now got commitments that cannot be unwound.
Yeah, we don't want to piss off the neighbors and we don't want to piss off the state. We're really, really riding a line here, but we are doing, I would say by all measurements, we're trying to do the best we can. Any other thoughts? All right. Mr. Kramer, you're up to bat. Other business. Can I get, how do you want to write it?
I'll read it slow, and you just let me know if you want to modify.
Copy that.
Be resolved.
Thanks, Jim.
Am I on? Yes.
You're hot.
Okay. Be it resolved that the Franklin Township Board of Education directs administration to postpone the advertisement on the request for proposal for the generator project effective immediately until such time the Board of Education directs administration to continue with the request for proposal process for the generator project.
That's fair. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Colleen, can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Cecil. That's very fair. When's school open?
Regarding the
September.
generator, I'm
the
planning
generator.
on keeping it on the finance committee agenda until,
Oh, yeah, no, conversation will continue to happen for it, yeah. I'm just asking, the conversation is just not authorizing funds until we get the parking lot done.
and I think this would require roll call.
Absolutely. Roll call.
Mr. Stankin, Mr. Cecil,
Yes.
Mrs. Cummins,
Yes.
Mr. Giordano,
No.
Mr. Metz,
Yes.
Mrs. Norton.
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Mr. Norton,
Yes.
motion passes.
There's no action on the generator, the parking lot. We agreed to advance that. Was there another thing we had to motion? No, we're done? All right. Noteworthy dates. Next board meeting will be scheduled for,
One second.
yes, sir.
I just want to ask about the plaque again.
Fair enough. Oh, yeah, we're still in new business. Anyone have any other new business?
We did mention it. Our custodial staff has been a little busy because we've had
Yeah.
a lot of leaks.
Yeah.
They do know about it. I do have a meeting with them tomorrow morning and I will bring it up again.
Great.
It'll happen.
I appreciate it.
And I want to say, I think it was in my notes to mention, but the screen and projector, we had them come in on the 9th, I think it was. But anyway, they came in.
It was the
we're
9th
waiting
in your
for the
notes.
quote. And once we get the quote, then we'll figure out what we're doing from there.
I did share this with Sophia's mother. She was very appreciative of that.
Awesome.
Be somewhere where people can see it and reflect on it.
And
And I want to do one more thing.
Another new business.
It's not really new business, but I just want to take a moment to acknowledge and introduce to you Hannah Marino. She's our.
Give her a round of applause.
Our executive assistant for both Mark and I, and she wanted to come today and sit through the whole board meeting to see how it works and to meet all of you, since she's in constant communication with all of you, so.
I'll echo that. We got a lot of emails from Hannah. I appreciate all the work you do for her.
She certainly does.
Noteworthy, any other new business? It's a good one. Noteworthy dates. Next board meeting will be scheduled for February 18th, 2026 at 5:30 PM. Here's another one I can do. Can I get a motion to no, I don't need a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight you guys every meeting on that. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Can I get a second? Any objections? Hearing no objections. The Franklin Township, January 21st Board of Education meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, guys.